All right, we're rolling. What's good? Welcome to a new episode of Drag the Lake. We had to fucking hop into this because we're goddamn hot. We got a lot. We got a lot to fucking talk about today. You know what was funny before? So we're gonna talk about the Grammys, and then we're gonna talk about all that Taylor Swift snafu. And I wasn't even thinking about the Grammys, to be perfectly honest, because I've been trying to get to the bottom. By the way, this is Pat.
Hey,
Fucking dumb dickhead. But
thanks for
but
being here, guys.
yeah,
Back to you, Andy.
glad to have you, you fat fuck. No,
Uh-huh.
you're looking goddamn scrumptious lately. You fucking jujitsu loving son of a bitch.
I've got a pen and I've got paper. I've got thoughts. Let's go.
Hell yeah. Speaking of pen, I've been getting into the reefer lately. I talked
Nice.
about
I've
it
heard about that on their most recent episode.
on the most recent episode of Panties in the Mouth podcast featuring Andy Malfriano, Lee, and Nathan Marshall. You talking about that one?
I thought it was a joke at first, but you are legitimately getting into more of a reefer.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of I'm a doper now. Hardcore. No, it's just like a fucking casually. You take one hit and you go whoa,
Trust me, I know, bro.
and then you realize your tolerance is dog shit. But no, I fucking I took like one hit off Lemaire's blunt, and it was like I've been coughing ever since.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, like one hit off one blunt felt like fucking did to my chest what I felt like 6 chain smoked cigarettes would do.
yeah.
So I think I might be a vape boy.
The vape pen to me is a little bit more like just because if it's all or nothing, you know what I mean? It'll give that little heaviness in my chest, but it goes away after another hit in the morning. A little hair of the dog. Clear the lung. It's one of my favorite things in the morning. You wake up, you brew some coffee, you take a big rip from your pen.
don't even get a second to experience the sober day.
Bullshit.
Immediately slingshot yourself into a haze.
I don't step foot into a sober day.
I don't take one step into reality.
Before one fucking piggy touches the carpet, Andy, I'm fucking ripped, brother.
Oh yeah, dude. I put that sepia tone filter on my day the first second my eyes open.
I'm just like, what?
What?
But
your wife's just like, Pat, we're 3 months behind rent.
Yeah. She's just like, I'm going to work now. And I'm like, cool. I got
art. Pat, we have no food in the kitchen.
Right. Yeah. What? Well, you've got the car at work all day.
That's so funny. You're just at like divorce court and you're like, Pat, we're gonna give custody to all the animals and the pretend children you have to your wife.
What?
Huh? Whoa.
Let me finish my coffee, dude. It's 3:30 in the afternoon.
Whoa. Don't talk to me till I have my coffee and my big bong rip. What?
No, honestly though, all the coughing helps me clear out all of the damage I did the day before, clears the sinuses out, take some vitamins. I'm on the right track.
Well, that's what you should always remind people, like as many jokes as you can make on smoking weed or doing any of that shit.
It's addictive stuff, guys. Get help.
Yeah. All you dopers out there, fix your shit.
Quit it.
Well, no, for real though, like with coffee and shit, like everyone's been like, oh, I feel so fucking good after I had my coffee. It's like, yeah, because you're going through withdrawals from the shit ton of coffee you drank the day before.
Right. Yeah.
I also been finding out, talking to how much coffee do you drink in a day? Because I've been finding out, I think I abuse this stuff.
I was like, well, so my normal cup is like, I think actually 2 cups. Technically, 1 cup of coffee is 8 ounces. And that's like 195 milligrams of fucking caffeine or some shit.
Nerd alert.
And you're and you're like,
old number boy over here. What are you gonna do? Add those numbers and know the answer, dork?
I'm just answering a question that you were asking.
That is the funniest move to do. Be like, Pat, do you have this info? And then when you give me that info, you're like, nerd, gay, loser.
Thanks a lot, asshole.
Oh, look at him. He learns things, retain it, and then brings it up when people ask for that info, dork.
Oh, thanks for having it at the ready, dickhead. No, I found out that I was drinking what I thought was like already a lot, was like 3 cups of coffee, was actually probably like 6 cups of coffee a day.
Oh, really?
So it's like I do something. I like to do something, especially when I was going out on the road a lot with Zach on the brewery comedy tours and shit like that.
Yeah.
I was doing what I call hipster.
You go to every brewery, you go, do you guys have coffee?
Yeah, no, dude, he laughed every time, but I would ask him if they had tea or coffee.
Oh wow. You know
And
what you should have done is before you did that is kill yourself. That's crazy. You just add a brewery that's in a fucking industrial park and you're just
dude.
like, do you guys have Earl Grey? Do you have
No,
any Earl
I
Grey?
wasn't picky. I was like, I'll take herbal, anything. I mean, if it's not, I don't need caffeine this late.
They're just
But
like, good thing you're not picky because we don't have that, you
dude,
dork.
one place I was in like, I think it was Connecticut, or no, it was Vermont. I was like drinking their water. I was like, man, this is good. I was like, this is fucking good water. I was like, is this just tap water? And I spent like 10 or 15 minutes of my set just going like this fucking water, guys. I haven't had the beer, but I'm sure it's good beer because that's some fucking good water. Use this the water. It's amazing.
No, that'll hit you when you have some fucking good. I remember in fucking high school or college because we used to where we grew up. What's the diner scene like in Florida? Is there a big diner scene?
It's like, it's mainly just chains. It's a lot of chains. It's like,
okay.
Like
That's how I
Waffle
felt.
House,
That's how I felt when we went to fucking Vegas. Vegas just felt like a completely contrived fake city.
Yeah.
Because none of it felt like it needed to be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I heard this thing back in the day where like Hollywood got set up. Hollywood got set up because they had like, it was just sunny all the time. Like, and the weather was really good. And like back in the day, you know, lights, because like cameras suck. So you had to have a shit ton of light.
Right.
To be able to shoot whatever you were looking at. And if you did that with actual lights inside, you'd be cooking people alive. So you'd like go, and this is what I heard someone said, and it sounded convincing, and I never double checked. You know what I mean?
So many times.
Yeah, it's like after I watched that one Kanye interview. And
I was like, yep, that's all I need to hear.
That's all I need to hear. This guy's convincing. Doesn't sound crazy. But and then oh yeah. So there was a lot of like sunlight, and the weather was really good. It was really sunny all the time, so they would shoot stuff outside, and it would be easier. So, but then when you go to like fucking, when I was in Vegas for Skankfest, I was like, this doesn't. I think they put this here because they knew they were just gonna sin hard as shit.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, we need to be away from any good people because we're about to do some fucking shit over here. Because like Vegas, you go to Vegas, there's all the casinos and all that. And when we were taking Ubers to our Airbnb, you see like the town area, bro, like for every one just local like taco spot that was just not a chain restaurant, it'd be like 10 to 15 chains. Like the chains in the where we were in Vegas, the chains were crazy. And then if you could just go like a couple miles past where we were, it's just deserts. It's just nothing. Like the whole Vegas just seems contrived that it's even fucking there.
Anytime I get shit for like growing up in Florida, I'm like, there are some nice looking places in Florida, and there's some like kind of regular neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But anytime I hear somebody say they grew up in Las Vegas or Nevada, like Nevada in general is one thing, but when they say Las Vegas, it's like I just imagine they just grew up in a fucking during a fucking showgirls scene. You know what I mean? Like they're just backstage, like somebody's breastfeeding, going like, "Oh my god, they're fighting again. We gotta get out of
here." Or they grew up in that trailer where what's her face got her eye ripped out in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Or you grew
Vivica
up in
A.
that.
Fox.
What?
Vivica A. Fox, that little kid.
No, Vivica A. Fox got a bunch of knives in her back. No, I'm talking. Remember the blonde chick that was fighting
with the one eye?
Yeah. It got ripped out.
Yep.
Really, you went to the lady who didn't have an eye patch the whole movie. That's where you went.
Well, I thought maybe this was.
Actually,
to be honest with you, I've seen that's my those are my least favorite Quentin Tarantino movies.
Really?
So yeah, I don't like those. So I've only seen the first one all the way through.
You know which one I just got reminded of? Because I was at Joey Rose's. You know that Joe DeRosa's bar and sandwich spot?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had a dope.
See, you go bar, I go, yeah, the sandwich place. Yeah.
Wait, I gotta look up this sandwich I had because it was so fucking good. But
the peanut butter one?
No, I've heard about that one. That one does look really fucking good. But it's called, I'm trying to look up their menu right now. But It's called The Dad, and it had just I like their menu because it had a bunch of like super Italian meats that you're
Yeah.
like, I think I know what that is, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was mortadella,
I thought that was cheese.
Genoa, salami, ham, provolone, Asiago, tomato, Vidalia, onion, hot cherry peppers. All you know, it was a good ass fucking sandwich, and
It's
that
an
shit's
Italian
eight.
sandwich.
Yeah, shit's eight. Shut the fuck up.
What?
You're missing the point of what I'm making.
The dad.
Yeah, it was like
You
it
felt
was
like a dad.
all right. I'm sorry. Am I being too mean to you today?
No, I didn't. Oh, I didn't hear anything. What?
I chugged my 18 cups of coffee today, so I think I'm coming in hot.
It's okay.
Oh, but
What was the point? I'm sorry.
oh, I they were playing they fucking they'll play movies on the TVs and they were playing Jackie Brown and I forgot how fucking good that movie is. Did you ever see Jackie Brown?
That's like my least favorite.
That's crazy.
That's like number one, and then it's Kill Bill, and then well, no, I think I like. Yeah, I don't like Kill Bill as much as I like Kill Bill 2, or I can't remember. See, that's what I'm saying.
Two's better because like one's a lot of exposition and two's when like they crazy shit happens in one, but two's when all the like extra crazy shit starts happening.
Yeah, that's like it's just kind of, and then they're just like we're all named after fucking snakes, and then there's a thing. It's just I get it. I get what I know what it is. It's
I
just
like
I like
here's
Western Tarantino, and I like earlier Tarantino, but like that the you know the fighting movies. That's the
I like Tarantino, but his movies are too much referencing old movies, and you're like, just make your movie.
yeah. What do you? I know what you like. What do you want to make?
Yeah, but like so much of his is just like, oh, so much of his movies is like, I figured out the font that they used in these movies that I'm trying to emulate. You're like, cool, dude.
That's the guy from the original one.
Nah,
Remember?
Tarantino.
I have no idea who that guy is.
Nah, I love. All jokes aside, I do love Tarantino. He has a special place in my heart ever since. Because I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of anyone being like, oh, you know that thing everyone loves? It actually fucking sucks. And he went on Rogan and he had a whole fucking breakdown of why Bruce Lee's a dickhead. And I was like,
really?
yeah. And I was like, I don't even hate Bruce Lee. I like the act of like tearing down sacred cows. So.
Dude,
You know,
crazy.
and it happened. You'll be able to weigh in on this heavily because it's so funny too when people will have these moments when they reveal themselves to be like, and I'm not claiming to be any expert, but they'll have these moments where they reveal themselves to like know nothing about MMA, and they'll just randomly have a conversation. They'll be like, "Oh, Bruce Lee versus," and then they'll bring up any current MMA fighter, and you're like, "Yeah, Bruce Lee loses every single time, every single time." Like it's not his fault. He's just what I forget what style he was proficient in.
Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, and you're like back in the day, and now MMA has gotten so much more advanced than anything back in the day that you're like, I'm sorry, just and also he was very small.
Yeah,
and you're just every single time he's getting fucked up by anyone. That doesn't mean Bruce Lee's like. That's not saying fuck Bruce Lee. You're just like, you guys don't know. Oh, my favorite one. Did you see this? I saw this on Twitter where it was like, all right, who would win? LeBron with 2 years of boxing training or Mike Tyson in his prime? And you're like, are you fucking crazy?
Yeah.
Are you insane?
Definitely LeBron. Everybody knows it.
Yeah. LeBron every time.
He's got the shoe line. I mean,
nah, dude, if you read Tyson's book, and I read a little bit of it, if you read Tyson's book, like pay attention to his childhood. You learn about his childhood, you're like, that's why he hit so hard.
Yeah.
He had a fucked up childhood.
Not great. Not ideal.
Not the ideal childhood.
But I it's so funny that I have a lot more. I like Quentin Tarantino too, but I just have a least in most favorite for sure. But I had no idea he had those opinions of Bruce Lee because I've been saying it for a while, and I get a lot of shit for it too. That I kind of put Bruce Lee at the same level, even though he was on the right path, because he gets a lot of credit for being one of the true innovator of mixed martial arts. He took elements from like Western. I like literally was just talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
Like he took elements from boxing, from like kickboxing, like clinch, Roman wrestling, or sorry, Greco-Roman wrestling, stuff like that. And then if it hit the ground, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So like he kind of like taught the mix of these things, but the way he like talked and the way he was portrayed, and the fact that I never got to see that motherfucker fight, I would put him at the same level as this. You know, remember the that guy, the Detroit cop guy that was like, this is all, the self-defense guys or the McDojo guys.
Oh yeah, he was like
He's like, be like water.
he
What
was
the
like an
fuck are you
wait,
talking about?
are you talking about the one dude who was like an African American dude and he had like a funny mustache?
Mustache, yeah.
And yeah, oh, his videos were going viral because you're like, you
That's
like
not gonna work.
people who could actually
Tactical
fight.
defense or something like that.
Yeah, people who could actually fight were like, for your safety,
Right.
this will kill you.
And then actually a fighter, UFC fighter, Jordan Buckley, actually had that guy in his corner because he's like, fuck you guys. He's like, he's not all wrong, blah, blah, blah. He's a good guy. And
He
he
wasn't
was in a couple of
trolling.
his videos. Yeah. I think he was just doing it for like follows and clicks, but
Yeah,
he
I
did win
think
his fight.
I
So.
saw that, and I'm like, that has to be trolling.
But I just always kind of felt like not only just in the fact of like training and stuff like that, but I don't know, like, there's a big difference coming from experience from somebody who trains regularly and has competed.
Yeah.
There's a difference between training every day and competing. Like, you have to compete a lot to be, you can't, there's not really that many people that are just naturals at it, except for the fact that Bruce Lee had studied all these different things. So yeah, he had a leg up on people, but
yeah, Bruce Lee
he wasn't
would
mystical. He just put time in.
yeah, Bruce Lee would 100% shit on any normal human being.
Right.
It's just people like he gets so well. Here's what happens, and we can actually relate this to music a little bit because I noticed it with like, it's like, yo, think about the bands. Think about the bands that everyone like always talks about, and you're always like, yeah, dude, it's like, it'll be like Jimi Hendrix and Black Sabbath,
Yeah,
and AC/DC, and and then you take a step back and you go, all right, and they'll be like the Beatles, and then all these, and all these other bands, and I'm not even saying that they're bad bands necessarily. AC/DC made a lot of money writing the same 5 songs, but like Jimi Hendrix, I think he's one of the greatest guitarists to ever do it. Black Sabbath rules. The Beatles, can be a little overrated at times, but that's just they're just victim of, they were the biggest band in the world, so that's gonna happen. But the Beatles are good. They're all good bands, but you look at them and you go, what do they all have in common?
right.
You can buy all of their shirts right now in a Kohl's, and then you start to do the math and you go, oh, they just had better marketing departments. You know what I mean? Like ELO ruled, Chicago ruled, CCR ruled. You know what I mean? Jefferson Airplane ruled. All those bands ruled, but it's just like they just happen to not and that's not taken away from those bigger bands, but they were able to figure out how to sell themselves better. You know what I mean? Like, well, Bruce, and that's like bringing it back to Bruce Lee. That's not saying he doesn't rule. He absolutely does rule, but he was also a smarter businessman and figured out how to sell himself better.
Right. He was just good at marketing. Like, that's what it was. Is like, because that was the thing, was he was trying to bring, I think he knew that like there wasn't, I don't know if he saw like a fighting organization and like mixed martial arts and worldwide cage fighting being a thing.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure it was on the way to that. And this was a thing that he was at least bringing as far as like the celebrity aspect to it, or the, because like boxing, prize fighting and stuff like that, there's movies about boxers, there's like lore about boxers and stuff like that. So he definitely popularized it for sure.
Sure.
I think that's for sure, like, as far as anything, but he, not saying that because I mean, his biggest competition, I believe, at the time was Chuck Norris and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So it's not like there's some variety here, but that does lead some credence to our talk earlier. Mike Tyson in his prime, or LeBron. Let's talk about Kareem versus Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee won. So
well, no, and then also there is also something to being the first at something. And I can bring that back to music as well. Like, you could look back, like, I was shitting on AC/DC for writing 5 songs their whole career. You go back into the punk sphere, you could make the argument like the Ramones are like the punk rock AC/DC.
Yeah.
They wrote fucking 5 songs, but also they had the benefit of, they were the first band to be fucking like shitty enough but good enough live that they played their songs too fast, and people are like, whoa, slow it down there, buckaroos.
Yeah.
And then they realized like that's exciting to play their fucking songs fast. Because I was listening to this whole shout out No Dogs in Space. It's Marcus from Marcus and I forget his co-host name. I apologize. But Marcus Parks from Last Podcast on the Left, they do the Last Podcast model, but with music, and they did like a deep dive into the Ramones, and like the Ramones, they were just playing. They just wanted to write like fucking old school, like 50s, 60s pop hits, but you know, it was a newer sound in the fucking 80s, so they just played that shit faster and harder.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. What was the point I was trying to make? The Ramones
being
all
basically them just getting there first. Like it's kind of
they got to the punk rock thing first, and that's not to say they weren't good, but you look back and it's like I love the Ramones because a lot of their songs are good, but a lot of it is nostalgia because they were one of the first punk bands I found. But you go back and you go, there's a lot of better bands than the Ramones.
Right. There's not only that, but also
they're another one. Sorry, last time I'm interrupting you. They're also another one with a great marketing department. They had a really good fucking marketing department.
Right. That's all. I think that's just what it is. It's just some person kind of just turn. I think Kiss. I don't know if this is I don't know if this would be the first band. Obviously, it's not because we have like the Beatles and shit like that. But as far as like the Beatles wrote great songs and got popular because of writing great music. Like,
yeah.
Then there's other bands that had something and were able to exploit that particular. So like Kiss live was able to fucking like it's all about their live performance. It's a spectacle. So like even their merch became a spectacle. So I think there's been many examples of it. And then like there's different, like let the art speak for whatever. And then, but if you are the first band there, it's not necessarily like just, take 5 songs, what like make people like go like, what the fuck is this? A lot of them would do like older covers of like blues songs and shit like that too, like AC/DC or something like that.
Led Zeppelin was the worst at it.
But like when I heard,
not let me clarify, not covering it, but they would
stealing it. They would just taking songs.
They would just flat out steal them, like barely change the songs, and it was like, dude, I want to know. The whole Led Zeppelin thing is a really interesting interesting thing to think about, because I want to know what it's like. I was thinking about this too when I was watching this Girls Gone Wild documentary. What does Jimmy Page's tits look like?
No. Oh my god, let's put them on the glass, bro.
We're like, all right, boys, they better not throw beads at me during Whole Lot of Love, because I'm gonna show beeve.
Here we go.
No, because no, you think about it, and like, because I remember I was listening to it, because shout out old school O&A. I was listening to Jimmy Norton, Jimmy Norton, like we're fucking buds about to see
Jimmy
him.
Norton, yeah.
Old Jimmy North over here. But no, Jim Norton was talking. They were doing a whole segment. I remember listening to this forever ago, where they were shitting on like Led Zeppelin stuff because they were stealing all this music, and it's just like, dude, I wonder, because you like, and you're like, dude, they were so fucking blatant about it, and you're like, bro, can you imagine the lack of giving a fuck you would have in the 60s when you're a bigger band, or you're a band coming up and you're just gonna steal random blues songs from just whoever the fuck? Especially too, they lived in England. They're coming up on these blues songs in fucking America. It's like, dude, words not fucking spreading. That was the funniest part. They put out a new CCR documentary. They fucking, dude, their band name wasn't Creedence Clearwater Revival when they first started. It was some British word that they had that as their band name for like 4 years before they realized it was a slur in England.
Oh.
Yeah, I forget what the fuck it was, and even if I look it up, I don't want to take the risk of saying it, but
yeah, crikey.
Yeah, for real. Down under. And but you know what I mean? You're like, info didn't fucking travel back then. So like, can you imagine just being like, dude, we'll be fine, and then
wearing a shirt with a slur on it, just being like, this is my band.
Yeah, or in the fucking Led Zeppelin example, they'll just be like, we'll be fucking fine, and then fast forward fucking 30 years later or whatever, however the fuck long, and you're just like, wait a minute, what's this internet thing? Oh no! Uh-oh. They're gonna figure out our no good dudery.
They start saying the name of Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah. Oh, it was a bunch of those Creedence formerly band names.
So what? But this is my thing. Is like, do you think that they're inspired? Because that was the thing. Is like, are they inspired by, or are they trying to pay homage to? Because you would think, okay, well, in that case, they would put originally written by those motherfuckers.
No,
But
they
like,
so the and here's the thing with Led Zeppelin is
because that's the other thing is it, like just certain bands having great publicists or great marketers or something like that, or marketing behind them. A lot of bands also got away with stealing because they weren't as popular. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the other bands were doing that shit too. But
yeah.
I think I think you're right to say like certain bands that don't like ELO for sure was like a band that I discovered late on when I discovered how many of their songs were like incredible and how
Yeah.
original they sounded. I was like, holy shit, they're a better Queen. They should be bigger than Queen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I love
Um
Queen, but like as far as like what ELO is like all my favorite parts of Queen songs
yeah.
just put together, and like then it makes me feel like, okay, so what about it is it? And I think marketing is the thing. Did you find it
Yeah.
yet? I was
Here
just
what
trying to talk until you found it.
Oh no, I was just doing some Googling because I was like, I'm bad with certain history because I couldn't remember which band was before which. And now that I'm looking it up, I'm like, oh yeah, it's obvious. But like, so to what you were saying in reference to the Led Zeppelin thing, like, oh, were they flat out stealing, or were they just or were they just inspired by? And there's a difference between, so like take two bands like the Descendants and Blink 182. So if you go back and you listen to like Milo Goes to College,
Yeah.
and then you listen to Dude Ranch,
Mhm.
you go, oh, Blink 182 like clearly love the Descendants. They sound like they're fucking like they were two fruits plucked from the same tree.
Right.
But when a band like Led Zeppelin, you look at their songs and you go, no, 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 they just
That's a
took,
song.
they
That's that
just
song.
took, they took the melodies, like
Right.
flat out took the melodies of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
the difference. You know, I'm trying to think of other examples, but like yeah, it's the difference between, just kind of sounding similar and then flat out taking
So
literal melodies. It was
let's
like
get to the
in
point. Get to the
it-
point. Who's winning in an MMA fight? Bruce
uh,
Lee or Led Zeppelin? Let's get into it.
it's Bruce Lee versus the entire Moby Dick drum solo.
Weapons
Uh,
allowed. Weapons and instruments allowed.
Hell yeah. You were talking about Kiss earlier, and that actually segues into a conversation we want to have.
Let's get into it.
So
Let's kiss.
we were talking right before we started recording about the Grammys,
Yeah.
and we mainly talk about heavy music, rock music,
Mostly.
metal, stuff like that. And I gotta say, the Grammys, woof.
Well, okay. Let me just say this. We intended, because we heard that a band that I think Andy's a little bit more familiar with
Oh
than I
yeah,
am.
so this is why we got into it, because we
Because
saw. Sorry, I cut you off so much. Go ahead.
it's okay. We want, this is a disclaimer. This is why I want to make sure nobody's triggered when we start this, because we are intending and talking about heavy music in this segment. But guess what? The metal category for the Grammys might as well fucking suck a dog dick, because there ain't one hard motherfucker in here, in my
Yeah.
opinion. And I'm just saying that. Now, Andy, back to you.
Well, the thing that was making me laugh was, so this all started because like going around, we're locked into like hardcore and
Yeah.
metal, social media and stuff. And
Yeah.
the big buzz in that sphere was that in a very, very talented band that Turnstile
Yeah.
is in the metal category, which was already a funny thing too, because you're like, Turnstile's fucking amazing. They're
Yeah.
great.
Great.
They're great. I will say this. I do get a little exhausted from, they're just so cool and
Yeah.
hip.
Yeah.
But I'm also 32 and they're clearly like 20-year-olds, and that's just not.
Yeah, I
That's
had
just
no
not.
idea what it was. I
That's
like everybody's just starting to wear hoodies, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go see them live, and we're gonna start." And I'm just like, I thought, like, I swear to God, people said like this was a big like reunion thing. Are they reunionized or?
No, it's just a it's just a big deal because Turnstile they haven't been very big their whole career, and then they put out Glow On, and it just fucking hit, and people
Yeah.
really like it, and it's getting a lot of recognition that is very well deserved. My only thing, and this is like a nitpicky like music nerd thing. Now, a lot of Turnstile's music beforehand was very like, it was, you could consider it more hardcore. It was, I'm not super familiar with it, but I listened to it and a lot of it sounded like good old fashioned like California speed punk. So it definitely, but with like more of a modern flair. So you could definitely call it like hardcore. But this new album, I don't know what the fuck to call it. It's good, but it's also like, I'm like, I don't know if they definitely line up with like the hardcore ethos. Like if you go see them live, you know, and you put, if you watched a live video of Turnstile and put it on mute, you would assume they're a hardcore band. Yeah. You know what I mean? But like this new album, it's a new thing. It's fucking great. But I'm always just like, I don't know if it's hardcore. But yeah, it honestly, is. It is kind of
alternative or heavy rock. They're a heavy rock band.
They're like a heavy rock band with big punk influence on it.
Yeah.
And then they're doing like a cool thing where they're incorporating a lot of like electronic shit without it seeming like fucking shoehorned in. Like when we were in high school, when people found out you could buy a microKORG for like $400 and you're like, oh, I know what you should do. Just play the fucking song you've been playing and I'll hold this arpeggiator over it. Or I think I said that word close enough, but you guys get what I'm saying. But it is kind of funny because like I didn't actually, so I've been spending most of the time this week researching the next topic we're going to talk about later, talking about like Ticketmaster and the Taylor Swift shit. So I wasn't paying a lot of attention to the actual like nominees. And it's kind of ironic because there is an actual, here, I'll show you it right here. I haven't like dug into this, but I looked over a bunch of the bands in this article, but like, it's on the Grammys website. They put out this article giving a shout out to because they were, what did they say? They were like Turnstile and Code Orange. And I guess Code Orange has a nomination.
Yeah.
They go 10 more bands expanding the boundaries of hardcore. And you look through and it's all these bands like Speed, End It, Zulu, Drug Church, and Scal, and a lot of these other bands that I haven't heard of, but I'm assuming they're if they're in company like fucking Speed, Ended, in Zulu and Drug Church, I'm assuming they're good. Right. And the roundabout point I'm trying to make is I'm like, you have guys there and probably gals too, not to be sexist.
I see some.
You have guys or I'm saying working for the Grammys. You have guys and gals there who know what good music is.
Right.
So when it comes to the fucking metal category,
right?
What the fuck is this shit, man?
It just seems like they named all their oversights. Like they just named all of their, you know what I mean? Because
they were like, "Yo, you want to see a better list than this horseshit we have?"
Dude, yeah, metal. It's not even
necessarily horseshit. It's just like,
no, it is.
It's like, do you guys know what music sounds like?
This is my thing. Is the thing that you were saying right before when you're saying you could watch a Turnstile video on mute and you could say, oh, that looks like a hardcore show or something like that. That's what
100%. Yeah.
If you watch, so this is my biggest problem is number one on this little list of best metal performance, like the same one of the categories Turnstile's nominated for is Call Me Little Sunshine by Ghost. Ghost is a band that if you watch them on mute, you go, that's a metal fucking band.
Yeah, holy you're like, shit. This is probably some fucking Norwegian band that burned down a bunch of fucking churches.
There should be subtitles here. They're probably singing about some kind of thing that happened in 11 BC.
Yeah, you're probably, you're like, oh, they're probably, you know what they do before? They probably butt fuck Rammstein to warm up for shows.
Dude, they look that fucking evil.
Yeah.
That's like their stress reliever. That's their little stress balls. They just go, do hushed.
You're like, bring in Rammstein. We'd like to sacrifice their new bassist.
But if you play that music, if you played it, you'd go, what the fuck is this? Ghost is not a metal band. And I'm not being a fucking nitpicker. I'm not splitting hairs here.
Yeah.
They're not fucking metal.
No, you were, and that was the funny part where before we were kind of like talking about this shit before we started recording, and then you told me that about Ghosts, and I was like, wait a second, because I know what they look like. I just never listened to them because
nobody has, apparently.
Yeah, someone at the fucking Grammys was just like, "Oh yeah, they're definitely heavy."
They
Just
got fucking sick merch. They got sick fucking visuals. But dude,
no, I remember
what the fuck?
when I saw Ghost, I was like, "Oh, they definitely put fucking strings into their music unnecessarily, and it's probably fucking stupid." So
Yeah.
I never took the time to listen to Ghost.
Uh.
But I could have not prepared for it. Like they're a fucking new wave band.
It's terrible.
It's crazy.
It's terrible. And Muse is on this same list. Muse is a immensely talented band, one of the greatest soundtrack bands ever.
I'll tell you this though,
If you
I'm
want
not
music
fucking.
for a trailer,
I'll
that's
tell
your
you
band.
this though, Pat. I'll tell you this though, I'm not fucking amused.
Damn, I'm. You know what? No, where are you going? Keep going. You can't end on that. You can't leave them on that.
Sorry, dude. The mic's too hot. I had to back up.
That was good. That's sizzling. I can hear it.
Thanks, man.
I might be.
We have to take a quick break. I'm gonna go kill myself. And
okay. But I think that I'm waiting.
You're talking about shit.
Go ahead.
Nah, I know.
Let's do it.
Nah, I'm a pussy. You know what they say. If you don't have the balls to kill yourself, you're a pussy. That's me.
That's honestly, that's what they say when you call that number. They're like, "What? You didn't do it? Oh, no. So you're a pussy. Okay, that's fine."
LOL, JK. Go call fucking Logic song.
If you need help, blah blah blah.
If you need help, that's what we're supposed to say legally. So fucking. But
look in the comments. We'll put the fucking number or something.
Yeah, go fucking listen to that Logic song. Realize, oh yeah, he just did this to make a bunch of money, and then call the fucking song.
Yeah, call the song. Okay.
Yeah, like it usually makes good music, but this fucking sucks.
Right. But
yo, who thought we were just gonna shit on? I like Logic, but that song stunk.
Well, honestly, what is that? Is that water?
This water.
No,
it's cyanide. That's how I'm killing. It's cyanide. That's how I'm killing myself.
No, I just think that like there's huge oversights, not just in the fact that like, okay, there is definitely new like we said, like Norma Jean put out something recently. I don't know if it was this year because I really was trying to find something better. But they are naming other metal bands, and they have Muse, Ghost, and Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, yeah. Can I speak to that? Can I speak to that? Because I have a big point I really want to make because it's not. So one of the big egregious things about this is just like, yeah, you're putting on. Oh, in the top metal category. Wait, where is it? Let me scroll back up.
I was on performances. Yeah,
I'm on top metal performances. You're like, oh, you have Ghost and Muse in there. Oh, okay. You guys, and even to a degree, Turnstile, which I'll make the point 1,000 times. They're very good. They're just not metal.
Yeah.
So
there's other metal bands.
So you're just looking at that and you're going like, oh, you guys don't know what you're talking about. And then to add insult to injury, on top of that, then you start scrolling through. And you like look at these and you go, oh, who was who had a big 2022? Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, who else was really bumping in 2022? Beck.
Muse.
Beck and Muse.
Megadeth is another one. Megadeth. Yeah,
and I'm sure the Megadeth song was great, but you're just like, who the fuck? No disrespect to Ozzy. Because he didn't make this stupid. Who the fuck gives a shit about what Ozzy's doing in 2022?
Right. If this is actually about, like, again, let's not even just say about this category, that category, whatever. Just who had a big year. You're definitely right about. I haven't heard fucking dick all from Muse this year.
Well, let me ask you this question: Did you happen to hear that Elvis Costello put out an album in 2022?
No.
Don't worry, because the Grammys apparently fucking knew. No one else did, but the Grammys apparently were had their finger to the fucking pulse, and they were like, you know who was really doing shit in 2022? Elvis Costello.
You ready to have your mind fucking blown? Not your dick, just your mind.
I'm good with that.
Are you aware of who won the first ever Grammy for best metal performance?
It's probably like Blondie or something.
Jethro Tull. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
The band with the fucking flute in it won over. Are you ready for this? Metallica.
Yeah, I mean that's all you need to know. Like I always bring up this point about the Grammys. When fucking
they're fucking stupid as fuck.
Well, and this is dude, the fucking year that Macklemore, when he had what the fuck album was it called?
Was it the one where
The Heist?
Yeah.
Which, and I'll even give Macklemore credit. I think for like a mainstream rap album, it was a fun album.
Great metal album.
It was, yeah, dude. It was a great Latin jazz album.
It was awesome.
But here's the thing though, for the year that Macklemore won Best Rap Album, you know who he was going up against? There's always like 4 or 5.
Wasn't it Lil Wayne or something like that?
Dude, you're sitting, right? I can see.
I've been staying this whole time.
Okay. No, you're just doing a sick fucking wall squat.
I'm doing a squat right now, dude.
Yeah, you're doing
my fucking thighs are burning right now. We gotta wrap it up. Let's go. Let's get to it.
But no, dude, you know who he beat out for Best Rap Album?
Ew.
Kendrick Lamar, New Kid, Bad City, or Mad City. Sorry. And you're like, oh, and like I'm like, oh, that's.
I don't know a lot about hip hop. Even I know that's fucking stupid.
That's insane. Like,
Yeah.
you could, like, I've been back and forth on later Kendrick releases, like, because he gets like more artsy fartsy every fucking album,
I like
and
that
you're just like,
one.
and you're just like, no, he writes good albums, but he gets more and more artsy fartsy on every fucking album, and you got to take like a fucking. You gotta take a critical writing 101 college course to even start to understand what the fuck he's trying to like get into or whatever the fuck. But from just a standpoint of like listenability, having a good time, good lyrics, like great storytelling, all that shit. Good kid, hip rap music,
hip and hop.
Good Kid, Mad City, fucking. Bro, Good Kid, Mad City fucking bodies the heist. It treats the heist like fucking Ving Rhames in Pulp Fiction.
But wasn't that Macklemore album? Wasn't that about like accepting people for no matter how they are?
Well, yeah, he had that one song where he was like, when I was 12, he had that one song where he was like, yo, don't be mean to gay people. And it was like, that's cool. But
every song was that on that album.
No.
Oh.
Every song wasn't that. But he had that, like, he had that don't be mean to gay people song, which hell yeah. But also, you can't also put that over a shitty ass song.
So this is my issue with this too. I don't know why, but in the best rock performance category, we also have Turnstile and we also have Ozzy.
They're just that good, dude.
But in that same category, those two metal bands are paired up with Beck.
Yeah.
Bryan Adams.
Oh yeah, which once
dude,
again,
what the fuck is going on with the Grammys? There's fucking new artists, dude.
Is it? Wait, I gotta double check. Is it like it is 2022, right?
It's said I
Bryan Adams
put in the year from my Google search. I can screen share right now. I'll show you.
Bryan Adams,
2023.
Bryan Adams, Beck, and Ozzy all have Grammy nominations. Are we sure it's 2022?
Randy Carlisle.
I will give the Grammys credit. They do, a broke clock's twice. A broke clock's twice right a day. No, a broken clock's right twice a day. They do have idols on there, and they're very good. I don't know if you listen to them. They're very good. But no, this goes back to my point I was trying to make with, you made it great with the I completely forgot about that Jethro Tull and fucking Metallica shit. But so that kind of makes the point very clear. And the what I was trying to do with bringing up the Macklemore and Kendrick Lamar thing is like when they do stuff like this, and this is sort of the main point I'm trying to make is when you find out information about this is how this organization makes decisions, you then need to realize, oh, they are not fit to make these decisions. So the Grammys, in my opinion, and I'm not just trying to say this to be like a cool fucking guy, like, oh, fuck it, don't get me wrong. We've talked about it before. I love basic bitch shit. I love to drink a Mountain Dew while I play Call of Duty and chug a Coors Light. You know what I mean? Like, while I eat a fucking frozen pizza. I love being a basic.
You say that every time we talk. Every day that we go to start a conversation, you say, hey Pat, how you doing? I'm Andy. I like chugging a beer. I like playing Call of Duty. I like eating a pizza. And I'm like, yes, I know. You said that last time. And you're I gotta tell you.
I like to make it clear. I'm salt of the fuck fucking earth, baby.
And I keep my promise. I tell Dom every time.
But here's the thing: when you have an organization that's trying to make the point of like we are the fucking gold standard on picking music, and they do shit like this. They pick Jethro Tull over Metallica. They pick Macklemore over Kendrick Lamar. They nominate fucking Muse for a best metal performance. You're like, oh, you guys are not fit to make these decisions.
But not the rock
your organization is invalid, and I just don't give a shit about what they say.
Well, this is the issue: is
they are invalid.
That's exactly right. That's the point. I think is very clear at this point. We're not being the guys that are like fuck the Grammys. It would be fucking awesome if Turnstile. It's cool that they're getting this recognition. Mainstream people are writing about them. That's really neat. But like, if they win, it doesn't matter. It obviously doesn't matter. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So it's kind of a thing of like, it's cool to get the recognition, but as far as if they won the award, you should not put that much into this, award, because it's famously like, take the opportunity. You're nominated. Go to the fucking show, meet some fucking people, go fucking hobnob with some people that are gonna go, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like if that's the case, and I'm saying in the sense that like if you're like, use this opportunity to network, go up to people and say, this is who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the same category as fucking Ozzy Osbourne. You know what I mean? Like I don't. You get to meet Ozzy Osbourne. That's pretty fucking cool.
But
don't put too much into the award.
But that kind of goes against that goes against kind of the points we were making though, where you're just, I guess
no. Have the time, have the experience and network, but don't put too much into the award.
No, I guess we're
nothing.
Like I guess we're not. We're not really making the point that like Ozzy sucks, that Muse sucks. We're not really making that point. We're just making the point that like the category they're in and the way these lists are organized is crazy.
Right. Even if you win, it's because don't trust it. That's what I'm saying. Even if you win, don't trust it, because that just means they want something from it.
Yeah, it should just be every year when you're like, can you believe the Grammys did this? It just should be like, oh, the Grammys did a dumb fucking thing again.
Do you remember As I Lie Dying won Grammys? They won a Grammy, and then what happened after that? Tim Lambesis tried to kill his wife.
Yeah.
Or have his wife killed. And that's not even, I didn't even have to say allegedly. That happened. He got arrested for that shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's out now though, right?
Yeah. I watched
that article. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched like an interview, a little bit of it, and dude, it's so funny. It goes back to like the Tillian conversation we had last week, where it was just like the way that like people can kind of like reframe shit, and he's just like, he was like, I was just in a dark place, and we all make mistakes. It's like, dude, what?
I was drinking
a lot. Hired a dude to kill your wife.
dude, you served your time. It's like Michael Vick going like, I was drinking a lot, and it's just like, dude, let's just come back and you can play some football. Just go serve your time. It's just like one of those things where you're like, look, man, we caught you. I was just wasted at the time, and I just made some really irrational mistakes. Okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You had a
yeah, but I think the moral of this story is like we need to stop caring about the Grammys, and hopefully me and Pat, and I don't want you guys to get confused where it's like, well, you guys were screaming about the Grammys. It's like, no, this is a public service to make it very clear, like they are inefficient at doing the job they claim to do.
This is cool. I don't think that people like, this is going to be a thing where like, I don't think fans of the bands like of Turnstile shouldn't take a loss as like a loss. Like don't this is a very cool thing, and you should be very happy for them that they get to have this really cool experience. But as far as the award being nominated for Grammy, like any of that stuff is personally really cool for them, I'm sure. But like really ultimately, even if they win, it doesn't mean anything. It's just going to be a cool night for a band that you like.
Yeah, it might be a fun night.
Do they get to perform?
Probably not.
I doubt that. I don't think they have to perform or anything. And they probably see that would be cool if they were like, hey, we're going to perform on this national stage and it's going to be televised. That would be cool as shit.
Yeah.
Because then again, like I said, this is all about just like exposure. The fact that Ozzy fans are like, who the fuck is Turnstile? You know, maybe they'll fucking look something up. But like, as far as like Like when you were like, oh, I was like, oh, I'm gonna look over the categories and shit like that. I'll check out some of the bands. I looked at the fucking categories and it's like, I know all these motherfuckers already.
Yeah.
What?
Because they've been
What is
around
going on? It's
for fucking,
2023.
yeah, it's crazy.
Brian Adams wrote Summer of '69. I think the only reason he's on this list is because I think during the pandemic or not long or recently even, that song was gaining some notoriety because that question came up again and he was like, all right, you got me. It was about 69ing. And it's like, so wait, is that why he selling shit? Or is like people actually giving a fuck about Brian Adams in 2023?
No, it's probably a big thing with the Grammys is too probably like playing the game, because apparently to get, dude, like I'm looking through it, like ABBA has a record and album of the year. Although I will give them credit, they apparently as a band make like the most money over any other band. So I guess there is some credence to the fact that ABBA is still making a lot of money. But
even over Kiss,
what?
I doubt it. Even over Kiss, bullshit.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question you asked?
Even over Kiss?
No.
Yeah.
Before I got distracted with my ABBA info.
What?
What were you saying before I said shit about ABBA?
I was saying that it doesn't matter. It'd be cool if they got to perform. It's cool to have a good night.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like
maybe Ozzy fans will look up Turnstile.
Oh yeah. If they got to perform or something, I could see some benefit to that. But even then, and I'm not trying to be like the coolest dude to fucking be cool and all this shit. I'm not trying to be like a fucking super cool guy who's like, I'm not fucking mainstream or blah blah blah. But like, just with, I don't know, man. I don't need, like, I'm almost worried for Turnstile of like, God forbid you go to the Grammys and then you get linked up with people and like this sort of like changes their mindset a little, where they're like, all right, let's just do a little bit of this bullshit and then we'll go back to not being fucking lame. I'm not saying they're lame. I'm saying
like one Kia commercial. We'll just do one Kia commercial.
Yeah, which not even necessarily. I like bringing up this quote I heard from fucking Pete Wentz back in the day, because people were always trying to call him. They were trying to call him a sellout, and I'm sure he was like fucking fibbing a little bit, but people were trying to call him a sellout for linking up with Honda, because they were doing like Fall Out Boy presents the Honda Civic Tour. And Pete Wentz made the point where he's just like, I get how it looks, but also if we collab with Honda so I can make these ticket prices way cheaper for our young fans, he's like, is that really selling out? But also too, at the same time though, is like, I'm just saying, like, if you get closer to this world where it's like I feel like we made a really good point about why like the Grammys fucking suck and they don't know what they're fucking talking about. And it's just adding nothing. So, it's not adding, wait, let me say this. It's not adding like a net benefit to the world. So you get a band who's dope like Turnstile getting into the vicinity of that, they'll be like, all right, let's just do a little bit of this dumb shit. And then that has a tendency to turn in, oh, we're going to do a lot of this dumb shit. That's my only concern for a cool band like Turnstile.
Or losing control of like your artistic expression kind of thing, like being able to put out what you want to put out. But I think that to me, there's a situation where like, if you want to have ticket prices be lower, charge less. That would be, I think, like if I'm doing the math in my head, I'd go, just charge your fans less money, Pete, because then that would be like, it's almost like foolproof, because like it's weird how that works, where you're like, if you take less money, they will have to give less money.
Well, no, here's the thing that I hear what you're saying, but I think that's a little simplistic, where it's like
very simplistic, but it's also to say like, wait, I wanted to make more money.
Well, no, not necessarily. You're not necessarily on that, because like think about it with like t-shirt production. Like say you were selling a bunch of t-shirts, like it would like if you were trying to sell a bunch of t-shirts, if you were trying to do it on your own, you would actually end up making your shirts more expensive, because there'd be like a lot more for you to do. So to just purely make to like make your money back, you'd have to make the t-shirts very expensive. But then you combined with like a bigger company who's like, we have a bunch of t-shirts, so we can sell it to you at wholesale and all that. I think it's more of something like that. Because
I think it would be, that's a great point, but I'm just wondering, how were Fall Out Boy able to perform before the sponsorship with Honda?
What?
How is Fall Out Boy able to perform live before they got that sponsorship with, were they selling like $8,000 tickets?
I mean, okay. Okay. I mean, this was an article I read in high school, and I remembered
I just hear that shit where there's just like this, hey man, we're just thinking about the fan. It's the same thing I felt about Taylor Swift when she did that the streaming thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like this thing of like, guys, I'm just thinking of the little guy here. And it's like, no, you want to make money. It's fine. You can want to make money. That's okay. You've earned that. But don't go, guys, if you want, because Fall Out Boy tickets are still
didn't we
fucking
talk
$40
about
a piece or whatever.
Didn't we talk about the Taylor Swift thing though? Because it's like if she did get a, because your main point with the Taylor Swift thing was that she didn't advertise any of the bands. But if she actually got a bigger cut, and I don't know this info, but my only point was if she actually got a bigger cut for all the other artists, then she did do something.
Yes, if she did that, but like also if saying like, okay, cool, thanks, but also you got the bigger cut, and also you happen to be releasing your cut of your albums. You know what I mean? Remember when she re-recorded her shit, and obviously she would like
sure, but like
I'm just saying,
but like let me.
You can want to say, you can say like this is something that benefits me as an artist as well as you know. But she was just going, no, it's about them. What about all those artists?
But you gotta. Here's the thing: you gotta take all that shit in stride because it's right. And this goes back to like,
and it's personal.
This goes back. This goes back to points we were making originally, where it's like you got like, wait, what the fuck am I trying to say? This goes back to like points we were making original. Dude, we were talking about Taylor Swift before, and it was just like, yo, stop playing yourself. Where people were like critiquing Taylor Swift. And you're like, dude, this is music for nerdy middle school kids. Like, stop playing yourself. So then, too, when it's like, when you get a win, it's like, you know, don't waste too much time being like, was Taylor Swift genuine about it? It's like, dude, you remember when like it was cool to give a shit about Flint, Michigan?
Yeah.
And people were like, I remember.
They still, by the way, they still don't have clean water.
Yeah. It was not.
You don't hear it as much.
It's not trendy anymore. So who gives a fuck? But no, remember it was like cool to give a shit about Flint, Michigan. And then I remember at one point Walmart made a thing. Walmart did a thing where they're like, we're gonna make sure all kids over there have clean drinking water for a year. And a bunch of people were like, Walmart doesn't actually give a shit. They're just doing it for PR. And you're like, yeah. But also a bunch of poor kids had clean drinking water. So
I would still go.
They get they get clean drinking water. Walmart gets good PR. I understand they're not, because here's the other thing, and this is getting into a more like people or like a conversation about human beings, is like normal people, and I'm not trying to fucking just defend big corporations. I'm more just trying to tell what I see as the truth is. They'll say stuff like that with like Walmart. They don't actually care. And it's like, okay, you're not wrong, but like normal people are the fucking same. Like I just did a fucking show where it was like a charity event, and they were raising money to give meals for people around Christmas time. And it's like a bunch of fucking people that got a little bit of money. They dressed up really nice. They raised all this money so people could fucking eat. And it's like, yeah, realistically, if you wanted to do that, you guys would raise more. Cause like I'm at this show and I'm like, I'm getting paid good money. They got a fucking DJ to bring up 3 comics and play shitty music while they eat a bunch of food. And it's like, if you rich fucks actually give the shit, actually not rich, but like, you know, they're like well off. If you guys actually gave a shit, you would start a fucking email chain and just give that money to the people. But it's like, you know, so it's like everyone does the same shit. So people try to act like normal people try to act like they have this higher level of like altruism where they're like, I would do all this great stuff. I just don't have the fucking money. And it's like, actually, you fucking wouldn't. In reality, you're the motherfucker that when you went trick-or-treating and they had a sign that said, take 1 candy bar, you took a fucking handful. And that's the fucking truth. But anyway, Pat, if you talk bad about Fall Out Boy again, I'll slit your fucking throat.
A bunch of phonies that suck dick, and well, they're all gonna burn in hell because they're.
Have you heard Pete Wentz's lyrics? Of course he sucks dick, dude.
I've seen his dick. It's
it was in my mouth.
It was in my fucking mouth, dude.
You're like sucking off Pete Wentz. Yo, I think you're gay, dude.
Dude, fuck you. You suck. Actually, I think
your first two albums were better.
I think there's like, it's not about criticizing corporations. It's not about criticizing artists for wanting to do business with corporations.
Hey, sorry, don't mean to interrupt you. Could you
really?
actually could you have more? Could I see more of your cat's asshole real quick?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you want to. I mean, no, she's a good kitty cat. She's just I'm in her room, so I have to let her on camera if she wants.
Fair enough.
Go ahead, sweetheart. Show him your butthole. She'll fucking kill me if I pick her up. No, but it's more of like it's a matter of like, it's just about the phoniness of it. Like the littler bands weren't saying like why aren't we getting, they were like, it was maybe they weren't getting the best deal, but they weren't like lobbying for Spotify to give them better deals. Taylor Swift brought it up.
Yeah, but I'm sure,
but
I'm sure littler bands were constantly bitching about it. It's just like, what are they gonna do? Here's my thing. I'm not
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to segue into the next thing.
I don't want to. No. But I wish you would have laughed more at that. Now I just sound mean.
You are mean.
I am mean. You son of a bitch.
Mean.
No, you roasted me hard 2 seconds ago, and that wobbled me still. What? Where I was like, I don't mean to interrupt you, and you went, "Are you sure about that?" Damn, dude, you fucking got me.
I wasn't sure if you heard that or not.
Oh yeah, dude. I was like,
you didn't laugh at that. Fuck you.
You said no because it felt so real, but then like, for 2 seconds, I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Damn."
Okay, I'm glad you heard that, because I was like, I was like, if they just heard that and you didn't hear that, that would make me feel bad. As long as I made you feel bad too. Okay.
Yeah, no, you wobbled me.
I haven't had my vitamins yet today, man.
Dude, that was too accurate. It was like too accurate. That's why it wobbled me so hard. But no, here's my thing. I'm not denying there's a degree of phoniness to it.
Yeah.
Here's my thing though. People act out of their own self-interest way more often than they realize. But here's the thing. Like, you got to look at the result of everything. And you're like, well, I get it. They weren't being the most altruistic person in the fucking world. I think the average person isn't nearly as altruistic as they fucking think they are. Like I said before, we're all motherfuckers who take too many candy bars from the Take One candy bowl. That's just the reality of it. But
not me.
Yeah.
Not me.
You're just taking fucking apples and being like, hope there's a razor.
As a matter of fact, if the kid in front of me took more than one, I would go, oh shit, he took mine. No, I don't get one. And I go kill that kid.
Well, I might be wrong. You're like,
my morals are a little fucked up.
You know, I don't think Taylor Swift meant it. Anyway, I gotta go murder some kid who took too much candy.
Oh yeah, I did that just this past Halloween. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Here's my thing. I'm just saying, it's like if at the end of this, everything is a slightly bigger net slut. I just want more sluts.
I was like, damn, hell yeah, let's get into it.
No, dude, I legitimately think I'm like, what's the one where you fuck words up? Retarded. No, but dyslexic. Yeah, I think I think I have like just a dash. I get words confused and I can't get past it. But
you missed the asshole.
Yeah. Oh, my fault.
I just showed you her butt. It's on. We can go on replay.
Okay, I'll hit that on the fucking instant replay. Yeah, no, I just think if everyone, if at the end of it, you know, everyone's in a net positive to whatever degree, I think people just get bogged down on the whole like you could have done more.
I'm a point shitter. I'm a notorious point shitter. Like, it's no matter what. I'm a but in a lot of cases, because it's like, because I also feel like you shouldn't necessarily go out there and be like, hey guys, I'm just doing it for the fan. Just don't address it. If the fans are complaining, then they're complaining. Just be like, hey guys, sorry about the prices. You know what I mean? Like, or if they go like, we don't like that you're sponsored by Honda, go, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, because like, you don't have to necessarily address it, but if you choose to just know that whichever way you choose to to address it, me personally, Pat George, will be there to shit on your point. No matter what. Because if they said, oh, we want money, I'm like, of course they do. They're just pieces of shit. They don't think about the fans. It doesn't matter. I'm just here to argue, brother. I got takes.
Good old, what have you done for me lately, Pat?
Oh, you're thinking of me? I think you're just thinking about that sweet fucking Honda CRV you're getting in your fucking driveway, brother.
Yo, dude, you're so infuriating. I love arguing with you for 20 minutes, and then you're just like, oh, I'm sorry. Let me just clarify. I'm just a shit stirrer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. I actually don't give a fuck at all. Pete Wentz is the lead singer, right? What if I didn't even know who the fuck he was?
Oh yeah, Pete Wentz, drummer of Sum 41, right?
From Panic at the Disco. The drummer from Panic at the Disco. Yeah, I know who he is.
Panic at the Disco is non-binary Fall Out Boy with better range.
I think that's something we can all agree on.
Did I ever tell you I realized when I was like, he's a hand job? It was like,
the guy from Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I think what are the like? I know there's like 97 sexualities, but what are like the top 10? What pansexual?
Pan. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the one where I think you're not attracted to. You're attracted to everything.
Yeah, no, wait. Let me look it up again.
It's really weird. It's like almost like super bi.
Pansexual. Oh, I'm a ultra bi.
I am mecha bi.
Insert or let me insert. I don't care what hole.
You just attach 6 New York comedians together and you get mecha bi.
We are mecha bi.
Isn't like every New York City comedian like a little bit bi? Isn't that a thing?
A lot of them, yeah.
That's cool though. Hey, I'm here for it.
Even the ones that aren't bi, I've met a lot of like New York comics that you could like, oh, I could convince you to suck my dick.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, geez, you're just trying to turn fucking comics out. You
Dude, I'm just saying. I called it how I sees it. There, you know what I mean? Like,
Andy, every conversation, just know that at some point Andy's just gauging if he can fuck you or not.
Can
I can fuck this guy's face. Totally fuck this guy's face.
What you say? Wait,
Bathroom's that way.
Oh, your mom. Oh, your mom has cancer. I could definitely fuck this guy's face.
Oh, look, the first thing, pansexuality versus bisexuality is the first thing that comes up in Google. So
wait, what was? Oh, fuck.
So while some people might use bi to mean they only like girls.
What if the definition was just like, and at the end of the day, they're all gay?
Yeah, I think that's what this is getting at. Is like pansexual, however, means attracted to, but in parentheses, or has a potential to be attracted to people of all genders, not just men or women, Andy. So it's just new bi.
Oh, here.
This is new bi.
Sorry, I don't mean to not contribute, but
You're
when you were
off right now.
I'm sorry. This conversation got really fucking hot, dude. No, when you were talking about me trying to turn New York comics to try to suck my dick, it reminded. Do you ever see the documentary Abducted in Plain Sight?
Yeah, yeah, dude, you had to give him some relief,
dude. It's so fucking funny. I don't know if I've ever thought about something funnier.
That is like, so pansexual,
dude. It's so funny to just like convince
a guy to give you a hand job,
dude. He fucked the whole family. He fucked the. He definitely blew him bare minimum.
Yeah,
he fucked the whole family and then would just like pressured the dad into sucking his dick.
Guilted him into it. He was just like, what are you I'm stressed out here, man. We gonna do something here? And he wanted some relief.
Fucking your whole family's just fucking stressed me out, man. I gotta fucking come in your mouth, dude.
I mean, you know how stressful your daughter can be. She's a real fucking pickle around this time of year. So
but yeah, pansexuality, sexual, romantic, or emotional attraction towards people regardless of their sex or gender identity.
Literally.
Oh yeah, they refer themselves as gender blind, asserting that gender and sex are not determining factors on their romantic or sexual attraction to others. And that's basically like,
so what
yeah,
you're
dude.
saying is there's a chance.
So no, but that's just them being like, I don't really care about gender. I'm just like attracted to their personality. It's like the most pretentious sexuality to have.
It's like pretentious bi.
Yeah, for real. It's pretentious bi.
You're a snobby bi guy.
You're
Hey, how's the step cuz?
What?
How's little Neff? Your little nephew? Is your step cuz?
Oh, he's good. Why'd you bring that up after saying pretentious bi?
I'm just thinking of cool nicknames.
I don't know. I don't know if he's at that age where he realizes if he's a pretentious bi or not.
He'll get there. It'll be called something else when he's in it. He's of age, you know.
Yeah, for real. Damn, this has been a hot sode.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm like fucking tired. That Grammy conversation got me riled up.
I'm telling you, man, it's just there's just a lot of fucking just miscommunication out there. And like if we're gonna have categories, guys, the reason they call it a BLT is because there's bacon, there's lettuce, and there's tomato. If you're gonna call it a fucking Grammy metal category, have a little bit of fucking metal in there.
Yeah,
just a fucking at least 4 of the 5 bands. Let them be metal. Let there be metal.
It just, I don't know, dude. It's just there's always.
I am trying to sound pretentious.
There's always just, not to keep talking about it, but there's always just these different campaigns where it's just like people get so mad that these groups, they're like, you don't like us, and you're like, well then fuck them.
Yeah.
Literally go to the Grammys office and fuck them. No, but for real,
they comics? Andy will do it.
Are they male comics?
Are they male comics? Andy will fucking go in there and fuck their faces right now.
Where are your faces, you fucking pencil neck dweebs?
Put your head over like this.
You pencil neck dweebs. Oh, is this a writing meeting? I got some fucking premises for you. Here's a joke idea. Why is there so much cum in your throat, you fucking beta cuck?
Swallow it.
Oh no, but it's like people. Here's the thing, people, and I experience this a lot myself. So I can kind of like identify with people on this shit. But like people, I feel don't have like a lot of confidence in themselves and their own opinions and this and that, and so they look to institutions or whatever the fuck to sort of like validate them.
Damn,
and it's like
great words. You're nailing it right now.
But for real, they look towards institutions to validate their opinions. And it's just like, you know, and I have to tell myself this sometimes. It's like, especially when it's music. Like, who cares what music at the end of the day, really?
Right.
You know, who cares what music you like?
But that's
it's like have some confidence in yourself that the validation of your feelings aren't hanging on the opinions of some random old fucks you never met.
Right.
Exactly. And also too, understand the systems and how they work, because I don't know the ins and outs of the Grammys, but I do know like I know for like the Oscars, there's like this whole process you have to do where you actually like pay people to like look at your shit. It's like there's this whole fucking process that you have
for your consideration shit, right?
Yeah, you have to you sort of have to grease palms. It's part of the whole thing.
I think they do that with Grammys too. I'm pretty sure it's Grammys too.
If they do it with the Oscars, I'd be shocked if they didn't do some sort of version of that. So it's like, also realize it's not as the process isn't as genuine as you think.
So it's literally nice to just be nominated. Literally, like that's it. Like
at most,
that's it.
If you get nominated, you should. Cool. And I'm not trying to be a fucking cool guy. I mean this 100%. At most, your reaction should be, "Oh, cool, the Grammys nominated me. Maybe that'll sell some more albums."
But if they win, it really doesn't mean anything else. It just means you won. It's a weird, like, it's almost like I'm learning about a lot of competitions in general. Like it's about who you know. It's about which palms you greased. And then we're not saying necessarily that's what the band is doing, but maybe some people marketing behind them or something like that. And it's working because we're talking about them. It's great. The band that I haven't checked out yet, but I've heard everybody talking about until now. Maybe I'll give them a shot, but that's only because we've talked about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of still like, I'm not necessarily, if they win a Grammy, doesn't mean I'm gonna go see them any more than I would if I just enjoyed their music.
Yeah.
But to me, this is really smart for them, because if they're coming off a really popular year, to put a little bit of extra money behind them to give them extra popularity or something like that. But if they end up winning this, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
And I think that's, I'm just hammering home what you're saying, but I think
No,
that's kind of what we're saying the whole time.
yeah, it's definitely. Oh, here we go. I was double checking what record label they're under,
Is it a
and
major label?
it's a indie owned by a major.
Okay.
They're under Roadrunner, but Elektra
Oh,
owns Roadrunner.
yeah.
So it's like, here's the thing. Turnstile is having a really big year.
Yeah.
Their last album, their newest album, rules. It's very fun. A lot of people who wouldn't normally listen to this type of music are checking it out because with this album, they're like doing a little genre bending and shit like that. So people are like checking it out more. So their record label is like, oh, these guys are fucking hot right now. Let's capitalize this. Let's do a big Grammy push. And it's like, here's my thing. I get it from a business standpoint because I'll never knock someone, as long as they're not fucking, as long as they're not like weapons companies convincing the government to go to war so they could make a couple fucking $100 billion or whatever.
That's
you know what I mean? Like that.
That's brutal, dude. That's pretty fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah, pretty fucking metal. Actually, nah, I don't think it's metal to kill anonymous Iraqis.
Me neither.
Nah, sorry. I know butted that joke. My fault. That was on me, not you. But Mike was about to be on me.
For the listener, I was drinking coffee while Andy was punching himself with the mic.
I was punching my dick like, how dare you turn on Patrick like
God
that?
Damn it.
You went for facts over jokes. Who gives a shit, you piece of fuck? Oh, so I'll never fault someone for trying to fucking, secure the bag, dude.
Yeah.
I'll secure the bag. But I see when we talk about a lot of this stuff, I more talk about it coming from like a fan standpoint and all these other fans where it's just like I said earlier, if you're a fan of some shit, don't let these fucking ancient institutions like the Grammys and the Oscars and all that shit like validate your opinions.
Yeah.
You know what you fucking like. Don't let that shit sit on the Grammy shoulders. Fuck that shit, dude.
Yeah. Don't listen to those stupid dusty old farts. Listen to your heart.
Or listen to us.
Listen to us.
Let us be your gods.
Yeah. And I don't exactly just don't watch the Grammys. Mainly just don't watch the Grammys.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, dude. When people like, oh my god, whenever the night of, well, dude, that was like when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Yeah. It was actually like a really revealing thing about our culture. Do you remember? Like, you're not really on Twitter, right?
No.
Yeah, I was on Twitter heavy for like those 3 days, the day or 2 or 3 after he slapped Chris Rock.
It was pretty chill, right?
And
like not a lot of.
But dude, literally, no one was saying anything.
Really?
Except, no. Wait, let me finish. No one was saying anything about anything except for Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, and it becomes really revealing about your culture where you're just like, oh, this is whenever people start to fucking pipe up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like, oh, we should all be talking about sad, important shit all the time, but it's like I just get annoyed when there's always people always shit on you for talking about certain things because you're like, oh, you're one of those guys. And then it's like, yeah, but the only time you fucking pipe up is when it's like some boring, safe, vapid horseshit. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think the reason a lot of people were talking is especially about that, where it's just because it was like the fact that he got an award after the fact.
Yeah.
That happened. And like, but the thing is, the only awards that I know for sure people won that night was Will Smith won an award for something, and I think it was W. Kamau Bell. No, it was Chris Rock was coming out to give Questlove a Grammy.
Questlove, yeah,
no, Grammy, an Oscar. Was that Oscars?
Yeah, I think he did. I think it was the Oscars. I think he did the score for a movie.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Is like that's it. Like that's the only thing anybody talked about that year. So like the Grammys in general, Oscars in general, they have their audiences already, but I think they're trying to bring in new audiences by having bands like they're hot this year. Yeah, well, they come on in, like maybe more people will watch, hoping to see them.
Yeah. But so hopefully it gets Turnstile a bunch of money because I am of the opinion I like when my bands I like get a lot of money. I don't want them to be poor their whole life, so I can
It'd be really embarrassing to go there to fucking lose to Beck.
Oh, that'd be crazy, dude.
In
that was actually
2023, dude. What the fuck?
That was actually we don't even have to talk about
or 22. Why do we keep saying 23? Is it going to happen in 23? Is that what it is? Because when I looked it up, it was 20. It was Grammy nominations 2023. Does that happen in January? I guess.
Well, it says 2023, so I'd assume.
Yeah,
so,
I would assume. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, 2023.
Yeah, it's gonna be in February.
That's crazy.
Damn, Megan Thee Stallion's so pretty. Sorry, picture of her popped up. Damn, we got to end this episode early. I got a simp over.
Yeah, you got a fucking JO or something, man. You're fucking all riled up.
Nah, I did last night. I've been trying to I've been trying to no fap, but I got weak last night because two of I won't go into detail, but I was alone on the couch and two of my favorite gals were in a collab video together, and I got weak and I JO'd when I didn't want to.
I thought for sure. I recently broke my nofap sobriety as well recently because I found out that Paige Van Zandt moved to OnlyFans.
Yeah, and she's showing puss.
Butthole, dude. She's showing butthole.
All right. Well, I guess I'm breaking again.
I'm sending you some links. It's very good for research.
I'm gonna tell you this, Pat. I'm a big Van Zandt.
Dude.
I'm a big Van Zandt of that gal's butthole.
The more fights that she is unsuccessful in her various ventures, whether it be bare knuckle or dusty knuckle or whatever she's doing, I don't know. It is like she's just taking more and more out there. She's just
I used to get
more out there.
I used to get worried about
it's crazy.
I used to get worried about what would happen if she would do too many of the bare knuckle fights. And I'm like, you know what? As long as they don't punch your butthole. I'm good, baby.
Name of the episode.
Actually, do you want to talk about I don't know. I got like a deep dive on this Taylor Swift shit, and I just don't feel like I knew enough. It's an interesting thing because there's a lot of like, I don't know. I'm a little fascinated with the Ticketmaster thing just because I'm like, what's the solution? You know what I mean? It's kind of it's the irony in it is pretty fucking funny because they were like, all right, we're gonna do this thing that's gonna help all the fans.
Right.
And fast forward to the end of it, and you're like, all right, tickets are now $10,000. If anyone doesn't know, I mean, we've talked about the Ticketmaster shit before, but if anyone doesn't know, it's basically Taylor Swift. She just put out her album. They're going on, I think it's called The Era Tour, which I hate the name.
Yeah.
It doesn't flow. It's called The Era Tour.
The Era Tour.
Yeah. So she's going on the she's going on the Era Tour. They were doing it through Ticketmaster, and I guess they had so they've been doing this thing where they're trying to combat resellers, and they're doing this thing where they have verified fans. And if you're a verified fan, you could do the pre-sale, which was like last Tuesday or something.
Yeah.
And then regular sale was Friday, which, spoiler alert, it got so fucky that they're like, we're not selling tickets yet till we figure this out. But they were doing the pre-sale tickets, and it just got all fucky, and it like crashed the website and it was doing all this shit. And then they have this other thing called dynamic pricing, which
sounds like a fucking card game on the side of the fucking road.
Well, no,
that sounds like. It's dynamic. It's
well, what they're doing is they're actually it's kind of like what the airlines do. So if I got a ticket on like a random Tuesday, to wherever the fuck it would, versus if I got a ticket around Thanksgiving to that same place, the Thanksgiving ticket's going to be a lot more expensive. So these shows, they have this algorithm that bases the price off of the demand. But the problem is when you have 1 million people going in, and then
there's a lot of demand for Taylor Swift tickets.
There is, dude.
Oh, really? That's crazy. So I guess they can charge a fuck ton of tickets, huh?
Yeah.
For tickets, right? Like that's crazy. They knew that there was going to be high demand.
Well, it's this. So I'm like, it's this weird thing though, where you're like, there is an argument, and I'm not trying to like defend Ticketmaster. I'm just gonna defend big
Yeah,
corporations
you're
on this
all about it. You're
podcast.
fucking.
I love big corporations. The little guy,
They're the ones that
fuck.
turn you out.
No, it's an interesting conversation to have because it's like, if you actually look at it though, there is an argument where, like, if Ticketmaster if the algorithm sets the ticket to like 10, 15 grand and some dumb fuck actually buys it, you're like, there's kind of an argument that that's the market price.
Yeah. Seems like a lot, but okay.
Yeah, you're like,
wants me to spend it.
And then that makes me to that kind of takes me to the point I made on the episode where I was talking about Blink 182, where you're just like, guys, have some self-respect.
Yeah.
Like that's what we did for Blink 182. My wife, she was I don't know exactly what she was doing, but she was telling me she was looking up Blink 182 tickets. Maybe like, oh, like we both love Blink 182. Maybe we'll get some fucking tickets and do it as an anniversary, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then she looks up and she's like, oh, nosebleeds are $300. I don't hate myself that much.
Yeah, sorry, not gonna
so
happen.
I just didn't buy the ticket. Now I know that's not like a easy fix. That's not like an easy fix. You kind of have to have like integrity and give a shit.
Yeah.
But and it's not like a fun thing to say to people, but I think that is one. That's not like my final fucking declarative opinion on the matter, but there is part of it is like, guys, have a little bit of fucking self-respect. Stop jumping through these fucking hoops for millionaires. Like I was saying before when I was talking about Blink 182, it's like you go through all the, like you're looking at all this shit, you're trying to figure out like, well, maybe I'll just re-budget my shit, and if I do a couple more hours at work, I could get this Blink 182 ticket so I could go pay $40 for parking and spend $97 on beers. And then I sit back and I go, you know what else I could do? That band you really like, Counterparts, is playing in Asbury, an hour, 50-minute drive, and you're probably not going to have to pay for parking. And honestly, you might be able to meet the band afterwards if you hang out. And you're like, how much are those tickets? Oh, $26 without any fees.
Right.
You're like, do that. And I know that's not like the easy solution, but I think there's an argument for that of just like, stop bending over backwards to fucking change your whole life so you can see a millionaire play some songs you've heard 1,000 times already.
This is the same argument that as the Grammys talk. Why are we going to sit here and watch a fucking millionaire receive his whatever Grammy nomination for uninspired bullshit art that he puts out and his 60s, like Ozzy Osbourne, something like that? Great. Ozzy Osbourne is a legacy act. He's incredible, but like, where's the kind of candor? Like, where's the support for the scene, the music scene? Who is like, Ozzy's not going to be here forever. So what does it matter if he, like, why are you giving him a fucking Grammy? Give him something else. Give him an honorary Grammy. Invite him to the Grammys. Invite him to perform if you think he's that fucking special. Yeah. But the thing with this is the same thing where you can find a local artist, like again like Blink 182 versus the band that you wanted to see that's going to be playing locally.
Yeah, Counterparts.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's something that is similar to what Taylor Swift offers, and it's going to be a way better experience at a way better price, and it's going to be, and you're able to support somebody that actually needs support. If you want to go waste like. What you said earlier, Taylor Swift is for music for middle school nerds, right?
Yeah.
So like there's a ton of middle school nerds out there, or at least their parents, or you know what I mean, like trying to get tickets for them. But this is it's that's just a spectacle. You're not going to really get anything out of that. But I'm just speaking from, maybe I'm wrong. Nosebleeds to Taylor Swift might mean a lot more to a 10 or 12-year-old girl than it would be. Obviously, we're out of touch. We're not the demo. But even that's the thing. Even nosebleeds to bands that we love aren't worth it to us because we know what it's like to see them at a different venue. Have you ever seen Blink 182?
No. I
never see if you can find a more intimate setting or a more like sometimes you just have to admit defeat, and sometimes you're not going to be able to experience it the way you want. I think I missed the boat on Foo Fighters. I'm never gonna see the Foo Fighters the way I would like to see them.
It's just like, dude, get out of your like one track mind. Like I had, dude, the best time I ever had was like one of the most fun shows I ever had was going to see fucking Knocked Loose at that hip hop show.
Right.
And like I was in the way back in the fucking lawn, you know, and just like fucking moshing in the pit with all those other people listening to Knocked Loose.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're not like they're like pretty big in the hardcore community, but they're not like a huge band like that. Although I did have to do like the Live Nation experience with all that, which is just fucking, yeah. Well, that's the other problem too, is here, and this is why I wanted to talk about it, because it's like I almost want to try to like figure it out on air, because it's just I get like hung up on this shit. Like, what's the fucking solution? Because like there's a bunch of talk where they'll have like antitrust, they'll have like they're like doing a probe into antitrust, and it's just weird for me that like to have like the government come in and to be like, no, we'll tell you what to do with your business. Like that's weird to me. But at the same, and I'm not supporting antitrust shit, but at the same time, it is a thing of like one of the big problems is that Live Nation, so a lot of this stuff started happening. It was a mixture of Ticketmaster and Live Nation combined. Although I will say this, I did see an interesting video where apparently like Ticketmaster been doing this shit. There's some video of Pearl Jam from like 94 being like Ticketmaster's a bunch of son of a bitches, they
boycotted Ticketmaster for up until like I think this year or recently.
Which people should take note of stuff like that, because people get it in their heads a lot of time where like everything was totally fine. And then this one thing happened and Ticketmaster started to be motherfuckers. And you're like, no, I've been paying fucking convenience fees
twice as much for tickets.
They're more expensive. Years. They're more expensive now, but I've been paying convenience fees since I started being able to drive to concerts. You know what I mean? Like, but so Ticketmaster and Live Nation combined, and basically how their like thing goes is if you're at a lot, it was kind of like this before they combined, but now it's just more egregious now it's just more hardcore mixed with like the fucking dynamic pricing and shit like that. And so basically what they would do is it's like, okay, you want to perform at this Live Nation venue. And the thing is, Live Nation owns a lot of those bigger venues. Like I was hearing Louis C.K. talk about it, and he was saying like he was trying to find a venue in New York City that, and this was like, I think this was post getting canceled, Louis, where he's probably not doing as big a spots, but he's still Louis. And, you know, most of the world was like, yeah, dude, we don't care. We still want to go see the best comedian perform.
Yeah.
So he was trying to find a venue. And he likes to do it where he doesn't have to go through Ticketmaster and shit like that. He likes to use those smaller ticket companies. And he was trying to find a venue in New York City that wasn't associated with like Ticketmaster or Live Nation that could also fit a guy of his size. And he literally found one venue. And that's the thing is like Live Nation it's a matter of either like, Live Nation that was my point. When you're a bigger act like that, it becomes a thing of like Live Nation either owns the venue or this venue won't do business with you unless you use Ticketmaster. Right. So that's where they kind of have like a pretty good stranglehold over this shit. And I think the biggest thing is like there needs to be some sort of fucking competition come in here, because I think a big part of like why the website crashed and shit is there's like it's the same reason beers are fucking like a $2 beer is fucking $14 in the venue, because it's like, where the fuck else are you gonna go? You want to see these big artists? Where the fuck else are you gonna go? And like I don't know. Like the reason I'm so intrigued in this topic right now is I don't know what the solution is beyond a couple bands having a backbone. Like I think that's the solution. I think a few big bands need to have a fucking backbone, or the people need to realize like dude, I was reading this bullshit apology from like Mark Hoppus, which I love Blink-182, but when I read this, I was just like, Jesus Christ, that's saying nothing in the most words possible.
It was like a Tillian statement.
Yeah, he was like, I raped Tom. No. No, he was saying when they were asking him about the Ticketmaster shit, he was just like, he essentially was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but that's out of our hands. We don't deal with that. And you're like, it's kind of like, that's just kind of, you're just kind of like, that's you just being like, I don't care. And actually bring it to back what you were saying. You're almost like, fine, but don't pretend like it's like, get the fuck out of here with this fucking, like, you guys matter so much to us. I don't think you do.
Yeah, it's okay. It's that I don't think that's the truth, but I also don't think you have to say that. I think people think that no matter what, and you could even still go out there and tell people like they're fucking idiots and they should, I can't believe you're buying our tickets. You're stupid. And they'll go, you're so funny, Tom. I can't believe anybody would spend $800 to come see us. They're like, well, I would outspend thousands of dollars because you know that you have a good amount of marks that are your fans. But if you're going to come out and just say like, I care, like, I'm not saying that you don't care, but like, just saying that you got to show, you can't just tell, you got to actually like do something. And to say I'm completely separated from this, you're one of 3 members of the fucking band, stupid. You absolutely can go, I'm Mark Hoppus, we're charging $17, and this is what, if they wanted to find their own venues, they could find their own venues.
Here's the thing.
Don't want to do the work.
Dude, you know what's so funny? They don't even have to do what they don't even have to do all that. They can literally go, guys, we're so sorry you're dealing with this. We don't really, it's kind of out of our hands on this tour, but next tour, we promise we'll figure something out. That's all they have to say.
Right.
That's
anybody that has a ticket to this tour will get a discounted ticket on the next one.
That is the bare minimum that they have to do.
And you could do that. That's a promo code, stupid. That's a promo code. You could do one fucking promo code and that's it. Like it's so simple. So it to like, yes, maybe he doesn't directly handle fucking Ticketmaster negotiations, but if he is hearing word that so many fans, so much so that he feels he needs to address it in any way, then it needs to be something like that. You are the band. You're part of the fucking band, stupid. But you can choose where you want to perform or not.
But I'm more interested in this because we already talked about Blink-182. What's sort of like, how do you feel about all the Taylor Swift shit?
So the issue with that was just the fact of the overload of the pre-sales that fucked with the thing, or was it because so much demand was coming in, the algorithm, people were complaining that there were $10,000 tickets? Like, I don't know.
It was basically both. So the website. Now, I will say this to defend Ticketmaster a little bit. If they were telling the truth, which I think there is some credence to the fact that they were probably telling the truth on this. What I'm about to say is, they were like, the demand for this was like bigger than anything we've ever dealt with.
Okay.
But at the same time, you kind of knew that.
Yeah. How did you not know that?
And I think with the fact that they're like, because I to be a little bit of a stickler, people keep saying Ticketmaster's a monopoly. They're not. They're not monopoly. No, they're not. Because there's other
just saying that.
No, they have a huge chunk of the market, but they're not a monopoly.
Are they? They're Live Nation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the monopoly.
No, you can buy tickets other places.
Not to Taylor Swift.
No, not to Taylor Swift, but you can buy they're not the only people that sell concert tickets. But they also have a huge,
I guess, you have like Brown Paper Bag and like other.
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Right. It's they're still up to fuckery, but I just get a stickler on, like, words need to mean something.
I guess in this case, well, like in Taylor Swift's case, they were the monopoly. You could not get your tickets anywhere else.
Yeah, no. If people were saying like, oh, they have a virtual monopoly over the big artist ticket selling market, you're like, okay, that's fair.
But because the big artists allow it to happen. Like you said, if there were some, now Taylor Swift would be the artist to make that change. Taylor Swift could make this change if she wanted to.
But only if she fucking means it, right, Pat?
This would be a true win-win if she could say, I'm going to use my power to fuck this corporation over just a little bit. They're still going to make a profit off of me.
Yeah.
They're still going to make a profit. I'm still going to make a profit, but the fans won't be charged as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And I think that's a win-win-win. And Ticketmaster can go, dang it. Oh, we're only going to get 75% of what we were going to get. And then everybody goes, yeah, Taylor beat the big business. And then Taylor Swift LLC gets to fucking rake in the cash.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Why not do something like that? Artists saying that they don't have power, they have literally all of the power. Like if anything is shown,
yes and no, it depends.
You can sign as many contracts as you want, but if you just go out there and you say, "Oh, I legally changed my name," that's not my name anymore. I'm not under contract.
I don't think you can do that.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like there's moves you can make as an artist. You can make a lot of dude. If anything, the free Cain Velasquez movement shows that artists or performers of any ilk can do anything they want. They can do anything they want. He went out and tried to kill the guy that he was suspected of abusing one of his children, allegedly.
Yeah, he shot a pedophile.
And then he shot somebody else.
Well, he shouldn't have been near a pedophile.
Well, guess what? He went to jail, and everybody goes, he is proven that he is not a danger to society. He went into a 10-minute car chase and then shot the wrong guy. He's exactly that.
He shot a guy who was next to a pedophile.
And he got out.
If a bullet hits me and I'm within arm's length of a pedophile, knowingly,
Velasquez can shoot an innocent person in pursuit of killing the possibly.
Wasn't he guilty of like driving a pedophile away from Cain Velasquez who was trying to shoot him?
Yeah, you're right. The court documents did show he was guilty of driving a pedophile away from Cain Velasquez.
Yes, he was getting the pedophile away from Cain Velasquez.
He was egging Cain Velasquez off.
I don't know, dude.
But I guess
we should honestly get in more car chases with pedophiles. That's all I'm saying.
But Taylor Swift can go like, well, my fans are getting charged $10,000. Well, guess what? I'm not performing for you motherfuckers. I'm going to put together my own show. You know what I mean? Like she can put on Taylor stock and fucking or something. You know what I mean? There's so many. She can fucking do anything she wants. You know what I mean? Especially in this scenario. Like, so.
No, I think you're
there's nothing I can do. Like,
no, I will say this. There are because like music, and I don't know the detailed ins and outs. I think it would be worth my time to actually learn more about this. But I know music contracts are notoriously like tight and insane and fucking over the top. But also too, when you're someone of Taylor Swift size, there's something you could do. You know what I mean?
Hashtag.
Oh, I was gonna say this too before we got sidetracked on the Monopoly thing, but because like Ticketmaster's being like, well, we weren't ready for the volume, and it's like, yeah, but how much of that, because you have a virtual, you have a stranglehold over the fucking market with these like bigger artists and shit like that, how much of your website being shitty? Because I was reading through a bunch of shit. It's like, this isn't like the first time they've had website issues, you know what I mean? So how much of that is just because there's like, they're like, oh, we got everyone, and there's no fucking incentive
to like going anywhere.
There's because it's like I was trying to rack my brain of like solutions and shit like that, and it's like, dude, first off, how is Ticketmaster not? Because they worry so much about fucking scalpers, and I think the reality of this ticket selling shit, you got like when you're doing big shows, you're gonna get fucking scalpers.
Yeah, but Ticketmaster just started scalping their own tickets.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Said, what's it worth to you? What's it worth to you? What's it worth to you?
They own. It's insane. They own their own resale market.
Yeah, it's dude. This is what I'm talking about. Is this? You say it's not a monopoly, but it's like all but. Do you know what I mean? Like if they're saying, yeah,
no, that's what I said. Yeah, okay. No, you're not listening. Huh? I said
who the fuck are you?
They're not. I said they're not a literal monopoly, but they have like a huge. I said it 2 seconds ago. They have a huge stranglehold on the market.
Right, but I'm
Pat, just can I say this? What? I'm autistic, and words mean something.
Who said that?
I think. I just think. I'm sorry.
Huh?
No, what were you saying?
I just think that I think that overall, like them having this same thing, the scalpers are only existent because there was a need for them. There was the people that were like, if there's anything like that, like
I defend corporations, you defend ticket scalpers. Let's go.
Well, they're no, I guess that's the thing is like, much like corporations, they're only allowed to get away with this shit because people are willing to pay. Like, so the fact that all Ticketmaster did was they didn't get rid of scalping, they just started scalping their own tickets. So they just took business away from people that were just trying to start their own fucking bullshit, taking advantage of their fellow man businesses. And Ticketmaster said, that's our business. And they said, we're going to just charge you processing fee. We're going to charge you this thing, and then convenience fee. And then legitimately, when I was a child going to fucking concerts, anytime I had to buy shit through Ticketmaster, it literally turned into double the ticket price.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that we got used to that. Okay. We got used to that. We said, okay, that's fine. We'll just do that. And then they fucking bump it up again. And now they're like literally just holding a fucking coat jacket open and just saying, and because some dickheads paid probably $10,000 for Taylor Swift tickets, they're like, what's the problem? And then people started complaining, like, are you kidding me? $10,000 from you before anything else. So still ticket scalpers are still going to get access to the tickets. They're still going to buy in mass amounts because they can trick them every time. Well, so those $10,000 tickets turn into $40,000 tickets.
You know what the irony is? Like, it's like, okay, I can't buy a shit ton of tickets. Well, I'll just buy one.
Right.
And then hopefully I'll get it before the price goes up. And it's like, before when you would make a couple bucks on a couple tickets, now you're making a shit ton of money off one ticket.
Right.
You're like, what's the fucking difference?
Right.
Yeah, no, I also do. But no, thing I was saying earlier, it's just like they're like Ticketmaster. Actually, let me say this off of what you were saying, because you were pointing out some really good shit about Ticketmaster, and this kind of goes back to
about it being almost a monopoly, right? I made that point.
Well, no, you were just saying about how like they have they're selling in the primary ticket market, and they have their own website that's scalp for scalpers. They own a website for scalpers and shit like that. So it's like, when it goes back to the same thing as with the Grammys. It goes back to the same thing with the fucking Grammys, where it's like, if they prove themselves to be inefficient at their job, or in like participating in scummy tactics, or just a shitty fucking company, you're like, just do your best to not give them your money, man.
Right.
Like, and I know that's probably not gonna make a huge dent in it, but it's what you can do. So it's like, do your best to not give them fucking money. But we got some butthole. Let's go.
What if Taylor Swift bought Ticketmaster? I think she could do that.
Nah, she probably doesn't have enough money for that.
You don't think so?
Nah, they're probably worth billions.
You
think Taylor Swift's got billions?
Yes. Come on. Or she could get it. Dude, her and George Clooney just fuck each other one time or something like that. They get their money together. Giselle throws in some money too. Now that she's able to invest, she's probably looking for some smart investments.
All right. Well, when you put it that way.
You know what I mean? All women Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster.
Are you looking up how much Ticketmaster is worth?
Yeah.
Dude, I think or start her own like
11. They made 11.9 billion in 2019.
2019? Damn. Oh, okay. Wait. I was gonna say before the pandemic, yeah, right?
I mean, maybe she had enough money in the end of 2020.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
She's apparently worth 450 million. So she'd have to fuck a few people past George.
She could get financed for that. She could get financed.
She could go fucking find Elon.
Speaking of financing, I have to go to the bathroom real quick.
All right, let's hit the pause button because I still have a few more points. All right, we're back. Yeah, how was the pee-pee?
Oh man, that was one of the longest pisses I've ever taken in my life.
A lot of piss in you?
A lot of pissing me, and you better believe it, baby. All
right. This can be a solo podcast real fucking quick, buddy. About dragging.
By the way, I have a drop of me pissing. By the way, I didn't play that. I played David Lee Roth instead. So I'm just saying.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Patrick. So yeah, the last point about the Taylor Swift I wanted to make is it's like it goes back to the whole fucking thing of like, oh my god, I don't know. It's just it's like just watch how they treat you because it's just like annoys me with I don't know
You mean
with
like
all
how the artists treat us or how they treat
yeah,
artists?
as the consumer, like how the companies treat the consumer, how the artist treats the consumer. Because I was looking at it like this, and it was like I know there's no like super easy solution, but because I was looking up, because Taylor's being like Ticketmaster said they could handle the demand, and it's like you knew there was gonna be a big fucking demand, and then I looked up at her tour schedule, and she's got like okay, she's touring for like 6 months, but if you look at it, she's basically doing Fridays and Saturdays for 6 months.
Yeah.
It ain't like some everyday fucking thing. And
Right.
then I'm like, you knew this was gonna be high demand. Like they were claiming there was a bigger demand than like every Taylor tour plus the Super Bowl and all this. They're throwing out these like fucking random numbers. And it's just like it just makes me think of like you ever see that shit on Black Friday when like you'll even see it recently where there'll just be people surrounding a pallet of like some fucking TVs. And then they're just waiting. And then some like random dude getting minimum wage just cuts the pallet open. And then you see these people like run at the pallet. And you're like, God fucking damn it, Walmart. This isn't your first fucking Black Friday. How
Right.
do you guys not have a fucking thing going on here? And it's like,
Yeah.
it makes me look at that similar too, where it's just like, Taylor, you knew there was this demand and it's like you still, and now don't get me wrong, it is a big, extensive tour. Even at Taylor's level, even at Taylor Swift's level, I'm sure touring's exhausting and mentally taxing and all this other shit. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like fucking Pearl Jam will play a couple nights at like Madison Square Garden. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, you could like, I know it's not a perfect solution, but it's like you can do fucking like 4 or 5 nights at each place. I'm sure they'll be happy to have you. It's gonna be a lot of fucking money for them. It's just, I don't know. It just goes to the thing I was saying earlier. Like, just it feels like these fans are in an abusive relationship where it's like the artists and the venues clearly don't give a shit about you. So do your best to not do your best to give them as little of your fucking money as you can, man.
A big fan of voting with my dollar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
100%.
if that's the thing that you want to do, like if this is this is the best I can do as Taylor Swift and Ticketmaster's like, oh, sorry, we tried. I guess this is just how it works. Then eventually, them being having those manipulative, like maybe they won't. Maybe they will never learn their lesson, and people will always pay that much. I feel like if there's enough key artists that will make a point to say stop fucking people over like this and then
Yeah.
also like blaming it on us.
Yeah.
Like I even try because like maybe there are artists that are saying like, well, can I just play a couple extra shows and it would be like less money? You know what I mean? Like they may have said that and Ticketmaster was like, you know. So
Well, not
you
even
want to give
let
them the benefit of the doubt, but for the most part, yeah, maybe Taylor Swift only wants to go out Fridays and Saturdays, one show each night, different town or something like that. Who knows? But
yeah.
it's still there. There is for sure a workaround because you're still choosing to do business with Ticketmaster.
Yeah.
So there will always be a Ticketmaster if people always choose to do business with Ticketmaster. But in a lot of sporting events, a lot of big concerts, and a lot of things like that, you do not have a choice in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So it sucks. But
Yeah, it sucks. And that's hard to tell. You know what I mean? Like that's hard to tell a football fan.
yeah,
Like
and
just go to the other football game, and it's like what fucking Dale and Rick playing flag football on the weekend.
a lot of it is pretty cool. Like a lot of like UFC events and stuff like that. Like they're still very entertaining watching them on television.
I would say
Football's still very
UFC's
entertaining.
better on TV.
Yeah. So like it. Are you watching tonight? By the way, there's
No,
Derek Lewis is fighting heavyweights. It's gonna be a good one.
nice. I wish I watched the last one.
But yeah, dude, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah,
But yeah, there is a ton of like there's a ton of options. True, but as far as like major events or major experiences in a lot of towns and a lot of places, they don't have a ton of options. and the artists I feel like truly have the power in this argument. Whether it's Blink-182, whether it's Taylor Swift or fucking Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen does not need that much money. Taylor Swift, I can understand, like she's still got a lot of life ahead of her, but Bruce Springsteen is almost dead. So if there's any other argument for like older artists charging that much, that's crazy. But like, I don't know, she's still choosing to do business with Ticketmaster, and I think at some point she may have the ability to make the change. But I think if she ended up buying Ticketmaster, I think she would just change the fuckery just enough to where it's still like, well, I can still keep the business model. But
yeah, but I don't see that happening. She probably also doesn't want to run a business.
She doesn't want to run a ticket company.
Yeah.
She's like, I kind of just sing and play the music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can just do that instead, 1 or 2 nights a week and make billions of or millions of dollars, hundreds of millions.
Hell yeah. Damn. This is a good ass episode. We fucking did it. We fucking did it.
I ruined it with my piss break. I knew it.
No. I was already fucking worn out and sleepy. I fucking did CrossFit hard, and it was the first time doing an RX workout, which is like the fucking go a little bit harder workout.
Oh yeah.
First time doing that, so I'm ready to fucking snooze.
Well, Andy, if you're wondering about the rest of my Saturday, I saw a pretty cool recipe on how to make things that taste like Snickers, but it's actually a date with a nut inside with some peanut butter dipped in chocolate.
It's actually kind of cool.
I know, it's pretty cool. She said it sounded like it tasted like Snickers, but I think that bitch is lying.
You saying that really sarcastically, but like,
I know I'm gonna try it. And I'm like, no, that's what I'm going to do.
Text me how it tastes.
I'm gonna let you know. I'm also maybe making sausage tortellini soup. It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, dude. Watch your tone. That sounds like a great night.
Oh, my fucking sight. Hell yeah!
All right, let's get the fuck out of here, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening. We all love you. Bye bye.